I want to formally get started and welcome everyone to our discussion today. It's December, things are busy. We've got an exciting update about what we're doing with Digital Watchdog and Deep Sentinel. So, first, the focus of our discussion, we're talking about adding Deep Sentinel live monitoring, video surveillance to Digital Watchdog security solutions. And we've got two great presenters. We're going to talk to them. I want to mention that for everyone who's joining, especially those from Digital Watchdog and Digital Watchdog partners, feel free to drop any chat questions, comments in the chat. We will actually address those. This will be interactive, so feel free. Before we jump in too quickly, I want to check in with our two presenters. We've got from Tampa today, we've got Patrick Kelly from Digital Watchdog. Hey, Patrick.
Good morning, Phil. Thanks for
Good
having
to
me.
thank you. And down in Southern Cal, we've got my colleague here at Deep Sentinel, Garrett Stone. Hey, Garrett.
Hey, morning, everybody. Glad to see everybody.
Thank you. I'm Philip Levinson, head of marketing at Deep Sentinel. We're excited to get started. Let me just set the stage. First of all, we at Deep Sentinel are thrilled to be partnered with Digital Watchdog, and we've been excited to participate in other events with them, both live and virtual. And as part of this, we have a very special offer that we're going to talk about. We also have a lot of synergies that we're going to dig into. So we're going to talk about adding our live surveillance and remote video monitoring solution to Digital Watchdog, why Deep Sentinel is unique, and why the combination is compelling. So that's why we're here. And with that, why don't I invite Patrick to just set the stage for how our companies are already working together? Patrick.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So thanks for everybody for joining us this morning, excuse me. And, happy holidays to everybody out there as we enter the crazy season. So, yeah, our partnership has really, I think, evolved over the year here. It's been a great year. We've had some great, in-person presentations. I think thinking back to New Orleans and GSX, as well as some webinars out there talking about our partnership. So, and it's really, from our side of it, DW Spectrum is our video management software. It is an open platform, and one of the key drivers for DW Spectrum in terms of in the dealer channel and marketplace is the managed service providers and being able to provide a platform from which they can offer a whole host of services. And I think Deep Sentinel is a valued member of that ecosystem for the video monitoring that they're doing through DW Spectrum. We talk about the value proposition of Spectrum being that open platform, working on a variety of systems that can scale from a single camera solution to thousands of cameras, all in that Spectrum ecosystem. Keeping it simple and easy to use, not flooding the user or, quite frankly, the installing dealer with a tremendous learning curve in terms of the product, keeping it simple and easy to use, but having a lot of horsepower underneath, a lot of capabilities and a lot of different avenues that you can do. So, one of our themes when you come to our trade show is, proactive video starts here, and that starts with our Megapix AI product, and our Blackjack AI, where we've got AI at the edge. We're bringing that information back into the Spectrum interface and then sharing it across the ecosystem. And a key component of that, and a key driver of that for our channel partners out there is to really develop a managed service platform and be able to do a number of things. Our channel service, our channel partners are out there, and they're really, helping businesses identify what matters most to them, and they're key partners in those job site visits and going out and finding what identifies most to the end user, aligning that security of the security solution with those business priorities, and making sure that it's tightly integrated for long-term resilience. So we value the partnership. and we look forward to expanding it and going forward. So I think this promotion that we're running here is a great opportunity to take advantage of that. I'm going to turn it back over to you, Philip.
Thank you very much, Patrick. That was great. And picking up on your point about integration, that is something I know Garrett will be talking about as well, is how seamless our solutions complement each other. Garrett, that's a great segue. Let me just remind it, folks, if you do have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. We will get to those. Garrett, do you want me to stop sharing and let you share?
You can take a minute on this slide. So just wanted to, yeah, thanks, Patrick. So this partnership started a while back. We have been pretty big fans of what Digital Watchdog's been doing for a while. We had quite a few mutual dealer partners that were installing both Deep Sentinel and Digital Watchdog separately for different applications, depending on what they were doing. And we got a lot of feedback early on from folks that were telling us, hey, it would be really cool if we could utilize the LiveGuard service on the full Digital Watchdog systems with the Digital Watchdog cameras and make it all, run harmoniously. And that's really how all this started is, then we approached the Digital Watchdog team, struck up a technical partnership and worked on the integration so that now we have this opportunity to come here and tell everybody, look, these two things work seamlessly together. And I'll get into explaining what that means for everybody on this call. And Phil, if you want to stop, I will go ahead
Yep.
and bring up some slides for the folks as I talk through this.
Absolutely. I'll let you do that. Again, drop any questions in that chat or Q&A. We will get to those. There you go.
I always do that. You got to click optimize for sound every time.
That's right.
All right. Can you guys see my screen here?
We sure can.
So I'm gonna start just high level here and give you guys a quick overview before I play the video, which will give you guys obviously a real-time example of what that looks like. But essentially what Deep Sentinel is doing is we are at our core real-time live guard crime prevention with two-way audio intervention. You've got real human beings watching in real time, stopping things from happening on properties that people don't want to occur, all types of crimes beyond just break-ins, obviously vandalism, vagrancy, loitering, auto-related issues like theft and catalytic converter theft, and everything in between. So it just allows you to be a lot more proactive and provide that layer of crime prevention in real time that you don't normally get with some of the more reactive solutions, and especially with high risk areas. So what we do essentially is what we're leveraging on the Digital Watchdog side is you guys have those camera streams going through the DW Spectrum system, for example. And what happens with Deep Sentinel is we are able to take a substream from the Digital Watchdog cameras, run them through the Deep Sentinel hub, and take a subset of those cameras and make them real-time live guarded. So what that means for you guys in all practicality for Digital Watchdog, partners and customers is that if you guys have a project, let's say you have 50 cameras on a property, the perimeter maybe needs some security protection with proactive solutions like Deep Sentinel, and maybe 10 cameras will cover it. What this gives you the ability to do is to pick those 10 cameras, send the substreams to Deep Sentinel so that we are triggering off the motion on the cameras. Our AI is saying, okay, is there a human threat on the property in the field of view? If the answer to that question is yes, it's going to immediately send the feed to one of our live guards, who's essentially watching from motion to a guard viewing in real time is about 2 to 5 seconds. Now, while that's going on, the beauty of this integration is that Deep Sentinel is not interfering with everything the primary stream is doing with Digital Watchdog. So you get all of those beautiful spectrum analytics, everything you guys would expect in terms of forensic video, searchability, all of that is still there. You've just got, for whatever subset of cameras you want on that property, you've got real-time human eyeballs proactively speaking through the cameras and deterring unwanted activity for the customers so that you guys are getting an additional layer of security, adding to the recurring revenue stack, and providing a much more comprehensive solution. So I'm going to give you, I could speak all day about this, but I'm going to show you guys a video of the system in action to give you guys an idea of what we're talking about.
Hey, this is Deep Sentinel Security. Stop what you're doing. Deep Sentinel security. You're being recorded. You need to leave the property immediately.
Hello, this is Deep Sentinel Security. This is private property. This property is currently closed. Please vacate the premises immediately. Thank you.
Please be aware. Garrett is not in this area. Please be aware.
So this is Deep Sentinel security. I'm calling the police now. Hey, this is Deep Sentinel security. You're being recorded. Leave the property now.
All right. Perfect little introduction. So really, what we're talking about in terms of proactive monitoring, right? The whole concept is let's just help stop all of these things from happening before they happen. You saw quite a few different types of properties there. We do offer both residential and commercial solutions depending on what your deployment is. We do offer both. So you are allowed to deploy this on a residence. We have as small as one camera, residential systems, and as big as 175 large multi-property combo, retail, shopping, and multifamily living centers. So we do a pretty wide variety of projects. And the best thing about this, and one of the things that I love about it, is it's so much more nuanced than a flat alarm system or an intrusion system, because what you've got that human element. Our AI is largely tuned to help make our guards faster, more efficient, and better at their job. So that AI is tuning out false alarm events. It is basically making sure that our guards are only watching a video feed when there's a potential human threat on the property. And it's kind of filtering out all the noise. And again, it lets you really extend that protection, to that 150 foot mark beyond the property within that field of view of that camera. So it lets you just stop so much more than people breaking in, right? Vandalism, illegal access, right? Prying fences, jumping fences. We stop obviously a wide variety of property crimes. But the nuance is that there's also just some nuisance events, right? Loitering, homeless encampments are a pretty, common issue that we solve, property vandalism, graffiti, etc. It just allows you such a wider breadth of things that you can stop and solutions you can provide to that customer at a really, really reasonable price. And it really just gives you guys that much more of a tool in your tool belt for proactivity. So in terms of live guard monitoring, the question comes up a lot from our dealer partners and folks we're talking to, which is what really makes it different? Like what makes this so effective and what makes Deep Sentinel different from maybe somebody else out there? So one of the big first things I'll talk about, we have our own vertically integrated patented AI. So we put the hub device on the property on premise in order for a couple things. It is our own proprietary AI, so it's got our own algorithms. It's our own learned model of filtering out events, spotting human activity. It's really specialized in filtering out false alarm, unwanted noise on the property. The other thing that it does, because that hub is on the edge, it's going to do a little bit of learning. We have some pretty interesting patents around things like smart snooze feature, where our AI is also learning the individual property, meaning our guards have an ability to, I'm going to give you a little peek behind the curtain. When somebody comes on property, a guard gets a feed, there's a potential threat. Our guards can see a lot of things on the back end. It's not just a blank video screen that you see with some other central stations out there where somebody's just watching a wall of video monitors. With Deep Sentinel, we have our own patented backend. So everything from the camera and beyond is Deep Sentinel. It's our guard center, it's our guards, it's our platform itself and our analytics, our AI. So what the guard will be able to see is not only the feed coming up, but what triggered the feed, what specific object triggered the feed. So if somebody's got a bizarrely human-shaped shrub that is generating a feed, our guards can actually tell the AI, nope, that's not a human. And it will gradually learn it out for that property. So we're also doing some pretty interesting things at the property level for analytics as well. And then, of course, coming to the real-time talk down. I mean, this is an interactive solution. It's not just a siren. And when I talk about nuance, I'm talking about the fact that it's not a situation that's just black and white. It's not either do nothing or call the police. We are going to speak through the camera. We're going to address the suspect or address the individual. And if they need to be chased off or moved off, we will do that. One of the things that also makes this interesting, and again, to lean on my favorite word, which is nuance, if you have a property like a multifamily living scenario where we've got a large apartment complex, which we do a ton of, you are not risking tenant satisfaction. You're not going to anger your property manager client because, the security team is just yelling at their residents passing by. Where our team is observing, our guards are watching what's happening. They're addressing and looking at what type of property is this, what time of day is it, what's the body language, and if it's just a tenant walking by, we're going to observe, we're going to mark it safe, and we're never going to harass them, right? So you have the ability for us and for them to know that the guards are watching, but they're not necessarily just going to be yelling at everybody that passes by the camera. So it allows you to provide that level of support and that level of just sort of comfort with the customer that they're going to get the protection without sort of the harshness on their property for situations like that. The other big thing that we do is we publish SLAs. No one else is doing this. So we give you a list of behavioral types, crime types, issues, and we give you a commitment to almost always, in most cases, respond within 30 seconds. There's a couple that are a little more nuanced, and 60 seconds is the mark. But for the most part, we're going to give you a 30-second response SLA on most suspicious behavior. And the other thing that happens is when our team then calls the police, you're actually going to get a prioritized 911 dispatch, because you're actually getting a dispatch from a witnessed crime in progress versus an automated signal. So the actual emergency dispatch treats it like a witnessed crime, not an alarm automated signal. So when you get a police call, the police are going to show up, and it is going to be prioritized. So that's actually a huge differentiator over certain traditional security systems like alarms, etc. So this brings me to the offer that Phil alluded to earlier, and that one of the things that we want to do for you guys as Digital Watchdog partners and customers is, in order to make that barrier of entry a little lower for you guys, this we'll call it the holiday giving season. We are actually going to give you guys a free hub for any customers that want to try it out. So if you have somebody that's interested, or you have a project that's got a Digital Watchdog system and you want to add live guards to it, we will give you the hub for that, so that the customer has basically no upfront cost to add live guard monitoring to the existing Digital Watchdog. Well, either an existing Digital Watchdog system you've already done, or maybe you've got a new project that we'd be a good fit for. This is what you would use that for, and we'll get you guys on board, get your hands on it, and let you guys put it in the wild without having to buy a hub. So that's our offer to you guys if you guys are interested in potentially working with us and trying out the system. Again, we do have a robust partner dealer program, so you guys obviously do get margin on everything. We do share you guys the subscription margin on the guard service itself. We do recommend an MSRP. We are not publishing it on our website, but we do base it off a 20% margin share to the partner dealer. So you guys can either do the traditional, you pay us partner costs, you guys are able to bundle it with the other services you're offering your clients and give it to them that way. Or if you prefer, you can have Deep Sentinel do the subscription billing, and we give you guys a margin remit payment every quarter. But this is a full partner program as well that we offer you guys, with full support, dedicated partner support, dedicated account management from my team, and Bob is who also on this call. And you got full support from us. That includes pretty robust go-to-market support with Phil's team as well. So we do some things that we like to call campaigns in a box, where we leverage our expertise and what's working for us on the marketing front in specific vertical markets, right? If you're looking to get more construction job site projects, if you're looking for more, let's say you're doing auto dealerships, let's say you're doing general commercial warehouses, what we do is we will actually work with you guys to put together a full marketing program, help you execute it, to help with lead gen around more of the proactive side. So we are as involved as you want us to be in the go-to-market approach for generating more opportunity. So again, fully collaborative partner program goes along with this, and hopefully we can work with some of you guys. I'm pretty excited about this partnership. It works really, really well in tandem.
Absolutely. That's great. And we've already gotten some questions. Garrett, this is fantastic. You'll see the link to this promotion in the chat already, and you'll also see some questions that we're going to address. Garrett, would you like me to go ahead and share, and as we take the Q&A?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much, both Garrett and Patrick. What I'm going to do is just remind everyone that you can get more info on this offer here. Again, that this link is in the chat as well. But let's talk about Q&A. Also, as we take the next 10 minutes to discuss these questions, if you do want to reach us and you do want to follow up, you can reach either company at the information right here. So feel free to follow up with these links and emails. First question, Garrett, that we got in. Roddy was asking, let me make sure, Roddy, I'm going to actually make sure we get it verbatim. So his question was, does it matter if I'm running non-digital watchdog cameras on a Spectrum server? And also, I'm assuming these cameras offer multiple streams.
The cameras do offer multiple streams. A really good question. That's a bit of a loaded question. The short answer should hopefully be no. It shouldn't matter if you're using non-digital watchdog cameras on the Spectrum system, but it does depend on which cameras and which camera brand. So we are compatible with a large swath of cameras as well, like a lot of what you would expect out there on the low, mid end, and high end. You know, the Univiews of the world, the Dahwas, obviously, things like Vitek, higher end like Hanwha, Avigilon. We've got Axis in the works. So we've got a pretty wide range of compatibility out there. Invid, IC real time. There's a ton out there that work. So it just depends on what you're using. I would love to sit here and just give you a blanket yes, but it is a mostly yes, depending on what you're using. And if
That's
you're not,
great.
and if you have a lot of deployments out there with something that we're not compatible with, we can certify it, right? So we can work with that camera, certify it, and get it working for you most times. So it just depends on the situation, but mostly the answer to that question would typically be it shouldn't matter.
That's great. Thank you. And Roddy, feel free to reach out at the info here to follow up with more clarifying questions. Next question. I believe Justin asked, how many cameras per bridge?
Cool. Another good question. So each bridge supports up to 20 live guard monitored cameras. However, if our system does an auto load balancing hub stack. So if you go over 20, you just add another hub and it'll auto load balance. It's pretty cool. It's not a situation where you have to go, these 5 cameras on this hub, these, 25 cameras on this hub or whatever. It will just, you add another hub, it opens up another 20 and it auto load balances between the two. So the answer is 20, but if you go beyond 20, you just stack hubs and it'll balance it for you.
That makes sense. Great question. We also got one, I believe Ryan asked, I have a customer. Thank you, Ryan, for sending this in. I have a customer with 24/7 dispatch center and a video wall. Is this available for self-hosting?
Yeah, currently no. So we're not currently licensing the platform itself for other folks to leverage it to guard their own properties. What we can do though is if you are leveraging Deep Sentinel, I mean, really the power behind the product is our guard center. So really what we're trying to do is offer that guard service. So we don't currently license our platform for others to use it. However, if you guys do have customers with their own dispatch centers or private patrol, we can dispatch private patrol and we can dispatch their on-site staff and help them be more effective and augment what they're doing. So while we can't license the platform for them to do the guarding themselves, we can enhance and augment what they're doing and dispatch them to the problem areas, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Let me shift gears. Also, I'll invite Patrick to comment and elaborate as needed. Garrett, a couple more, and then we will be wrapping up at the top of the hour. So keep sending your questions. Another one is how many cameras can Deep Sentinel monitor at one time and typically does monitor at one time for
Yeah,
business?
like I said, I mean, Bob, plug your ears, but we do have one camera deployments all the way up to, like I said, about 175. So it literally just depends on, as you imagine, we have a lot of guards employed and working with us to cover these properties. So it really depends on the property, but there is no ceiling and there's no minimum, if that makes sense. It really is what's going to solve the problem for that particular customer, and we enable you guys to do it. Obviously, if you need 200 cameras, you're going to need a good swath of hubs, but we can do it.
Absolutely. That makes sense. Thank you. And again, folks can reach you through the information here to ask more questions. This one I'll invite also Patrick to comment on. Are there industries and types of companies, Garrett, that you're seeing a lot more frequently than others? What are those? And then,
Yeah.
Patrick, maybe you can comment on what you see as some potential opportunities and industries and sectors as well. Let's start with Garrett.
Yeah, we have the blessing and the curse of being largely vertically agnostic in terms of, anyone that wants to prevent crime on their property. We are a great fit for. That being said, there are some verticals that play very well that we have a lot of traction in, right? So we do very, very well in multifamily properties right now. So think of large apartment complexes, garden style condo units, high rise, guarding lobbies, the whole nine yards. We do a lot of that. We do a lot of retail property management. So think shopping centers, think, retail property management, strip malls, things like that, preventing all kinds of, loitering, homelessness, breaking into the storefronts. We do a lot of auto related dealerships, and we have a lot of auto sub verticals that we would call like power sports. We do a lot of auto dealerships, body shops, collision centers. We even consider, for example, like long-term parking, or parking facilities would be in the auto vertical. We also have, like vehicles, like companies that have fleets of service vehicles, right? So Terminex, and think of like Geek Squad, where they're getting a lot of catalytic converters stolen. We do a lot of that. Obviously, construction job site protection is huge. We also do a lot of larger major industrial commercial. Those are probably our main focus
Yeah.
right now, but again, we do liquor stores, grocery stores, convenience store chains, you name it.
Yep, makes sense. And Patrick, where do you see from your customer and partner base some potential opportunities? And then we've got one more question, and then we'll wrap it up. Go ahead, Patrick.
Yeah, I would pretty much echo what Garrett is talking about. I mean, I think that's part of the reason for the partnership, or why we align so well in terms of our alignment of vertical markets. I can think of customers in each of the verticals that Garrett mentioned. Whether it's the multifamily, the community associations, here in Florida, we have a lot of gated communities with pools and clubhouses, community pools and clubhouses, and those types of things, and just really anywhere where there's perimeter, right? The perimeter protection, and being able to go in and identify um, that. So, yeah, I think that's part of it. That's part of it. I mean, I don't know if you mentioned education as a vertical. Spectrum is well deployed across a lot of educational institutions, which tend to have, whether it's in the summer months and downtimes, the holidays, when people aren't there, and things tend to happen when as those places are closed, and this service, keeping eyes on it after hours, or during those slow periods, um, is important. Go back to the camera question. Just a note. I just pulled up just to look, and we're at close. Spectrum itself is compatible with about 1,500 different manufacturers' cameras. So that's actually what's been connected in the field, and we have we're getting close to 26,000 different devices that have connected to Spectrum. So the hub itself can, I'm sure, connect to connecting to the camera, or connecting to Spectrum, and have Spectrum serve it up to the hub. That's completely possible as well, within the interface there. So lots of opportunities out there, and keeping it simple and easy to use.
Yeah,
That's
I
great.
I do want to close with one thing, Phil, just to make sure,
Please,
because
please
this may
do.
be the concept of live guarding may be new to some, may not to others, but I do want to reiterate the fact that we have a really, really great team, just like DW does, of support on the channel side, whether it's for account management or tech support and partner support. So if you guys are interested in potentially looking at this, or you think you have clients that might benefit from it, we will essentially help you guys not only speak to the client, present what this does for them, but we'll also help with the proposal and the sort of spec of the project, because a lot of times, again, like I said, maybe they have 75 cameras. That doesn't mean they need to pay for monitoring for all 75. So what we'll look at is like, what are the security objectives? Where are the areas that need protection? How do those cameras need to be aimed and positioned? And we will help you do all of that. So don't be intimidated by this, and looking at how does this change how my system needs to operate. We are here for you guys to help spec those projects and help you through all that.
That's great. And we've got two final questions, and then we're going to wrap it up. from Justin. What resolution do the cameras need to be to get the detection needed? And what are the distance and lighting requirements for accurate dispatch?
Yeah,
Garrett.
so yeah, that's a great question. That does vary camera to camera. The rule of thumb is on average, we work with 8 megapixel, 4 megapixel. That the way that our model works, it actually works the same on 8 megapixel as it does on 4. So you have some pretty good flexibility in terms of our AI model and motion detection. So yeah, what we're doing is we're sending a lower res stream to the guards because nobody wants to be streaming 4K and they don't want the upload. They don't have the upload speed for that. So yeah, so as far as lighting, additional lighting will always help. As long as the camera has a solid night vision, we still will certify it out to about that 100-foot mark. If you want anything beyond that, you're typically going to need to help with a little bit of added lighting. That was a good question.
Excellent. And thank you. Final question. We from Ryan, can the hubs connect cameras across a multi-location campus, either via NAT port mapping or VPN?
That is more of a sales engineering question. I'm not the network expert here. I believe the short answer is, I believe yes. Do I know how to do that? No. We can get you with the folks that do, but I believe the answer to that is yes.
Ryan, definitely send us a note and we will follow up. Also, all of you that ask great questions, thank you. I want to thank also Patrick and Garrett for doing this. This was very productive. We did go a few minutes over, but we got a lot in. I want to invite any of you that have further comments or questions to just follow up with us here. Thank you very much, Patrick. Thank you, Garrett.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Philip.
my
Thanks,
pleasure.
Garrett.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And thanks to all of you who joined us. And thanks to everyone on our teams that helped make it happen. Shout out to Mark, Debbie over at Digital Watchdog, Brittany over at Deep Sentinel. Thank you. And we'll see you at our next event. Take care.